Well, hello, GH Daily Recap fans like me and all of you out there. This recap is for Friday, June the 17th. Friday, June the 17th. It did not air at its normal time. It was preempted, but they did actually post an episode I was able to see. So let's dive right into Friday's episode. First and foremost, we have Drew, who's played by Cameron Matheson. Carly, we can tell they are going to put Carly and Drew together momentarily because Drew happened to be swimming in the MetroCourt pool after hours. And of course, Carly's the one saying, pool's closed, pool's closed. And then when he lifts up out the water, it's almost like they had the moonlight showing on him. And she's just glaring at his body like, oh, Drew, is that you? Wow, Drew, please, they've been putting those two together for a hot minute. But he actually gives her a proposition that I am surprised Carly, being Carly, turned it down. He asked her, hey, why don't we go skinny dipping? Because he said, you want to go for a swim? Carly's like, I didn't bring my swimsuit. Well, why don't we go skinny dipping? Well, in the past, Carly would have been zipping up out of that dress, diving headfirst into the water because that's the way Carly rolls. But I guess now that she's older, she realizes, oh, this is my hotel. And if someone snaps pictures of me like this in my hotel, that's not going to be a good look. Now, I could do it somewhere else, but not here. So I'm happy she showed some semblance of restraint. So they just decide, Drew's like, I got a great idea. Can you put your feet in? So she says, yeah, she could do that. So they're eating ice cream by the pool talking. Of course, she tells him all about, Sonny's problems, her problems with Sonny, and how she wasn't mad. Her usual reaction is, oh, Sonny makes me so mad. But that keeps everything going for Carly and Sonny, is anger a lot of times. And she said, I just felt nothing. So that let her know that she is finally starting to get over Sonny a bit. Even though she says all the way, but we know, goodness gracious, by this time next year, those two will be back together 100%, even if it takes that long. It's not even going to take that long, because whatever they're going to do with Carly and Drew is not going to be lasting. As a matter of fact, how many of you feel the way I feel? If Hayden comes back to town, if Hayden, ex all my children's Greenlee, comes back to town, and we have Drew, ex all my children's Ryan, on the landscape, we all know those two actors have fireworks together, and they actually are really good together. So I'm kind of hoping they bring Hayden back just so we could see kind of what's going to go on there for a minute, if they even decide to write a collide of the two, because Drew has to rescue people. He's damsel in distress, that's him. So if there's any kind of peril with Hayden coming back, he'll be knee deep into it. So I would actually love to see that. So then we have boring Sonny and Nina. Oh, goodness gracious. She asked him, it ended the other the other episode, which was Wednesday. Wait, you asked me this, or you kissed me because you had a fight with Carly? So she picks up that question to him on this episode. What do you think Sonny and or anybody else who's asked that particular question, what do you think they're going to say? What would you say? Well, what Sonny said, no, that's not, I wasn't thinking of her when I kissed you. Absolutely not. I am surprised they didn't have him do that dimple that he has. Oh my goodness. Maurice has a dimples to kill for, you know. And she, of course, ate it up, just ate it up. And what was interesting to me, where Sonny was asking her all these questions about, you know, this is what Carly, where she was hurt with, is she felt that I should have defended Michael when Scott really tore into him with the Claudia Sakara thing. And he's like, you didn't know anything about that, did you? Did you know Scott was going to do that? Did you put him on? She goes, no, I didn't know, Sonny. And it tore my stomach up as she looks at him like, it tore my stomach up when that was happening. Now, mind you, because you know, we always get these cut-in scenes, go to somebody else, cut back to them. They come back to them and she goes, well, you know, Scott did tell me that he was going to have to make Michael look really bad on the stage. He was going to have to make him look worse than me. He was going to have to really tear down his character. She just contradicted herself. I didn't know. Yes, you did know. You knew, and you condoned it. And Sonny fed right along. Oh my goodness, he is just incredible when he wants to be. So he says, you know, I'm not the same man that came back from Nixon Falls. And I believe it, because they are actually having the actor kind of, you know, meld these two personalities. But guess what? The two personalities, how much you all want to bet, is not going to keep his business afloat. His mob boss business needs one type of Sonny and one type of Sonny only. Okay. And this new kind of Sonny that doesn't stick by his family, that doesn't have that family code of honor, is going to be a problem. And when Nina even sees or gets a glimpse of that part of Sonny and his world, because he may feel he's changing, but his world is still the same. The mob boss world is still the same. And if he doesn't show this power of strength, actually, if he doesn't really get a new enforcer, he's going to start having some real problems. And I think he needs some. I think he needs a wake-up call with, I have to be a mob boss. I got to get my mind right. And Nina's not going to fit into that. Oh my goodness, that is going to be, oh no. That's not my Mike. The man I fell in love with in Nixon Falls would never do X, Y, or Z. That's not my Mike, because he's not Mike, he's Sonny. And sooner or later, that infatuation with Nina is going to go away, and he's going to truly be himself. She won't be able to handle it. Now, did anybody understand the analogy that he said? Carly feels that I betrayed Michael when I testified for you. Whenever Sonny was going to any kind of trial, and throughout the years, it's been dozens of court cases against him. Oh, you either for him or you against him. See, wherever you testifying on the stand, you for him or against him. Even some people have been asked. Michael has been brought up on the stand to testify against Sonny in other things, right? But they all get up there and kind of play stupid. To a degree, they lie for him, okay? Because protecting family is key. Now, and they're called by the prosecutor. Sonny was raising his hand, Scott, put me on the stage. Oh, no, put me up there. And it did more harm than good, but put me up there. And that's not to be considered a betrayal. Are you serious? If Carly were to drag out a custody suit between Sonny and Donna, and so she doesn't want him to really see Donna, right? Or have very limited visitation with Donna. And let's say Christina decides to get up on the stand and talk about how great Carly is, how great of a mother, and how Donna couldn't be in a better place. Now, mind you, she doesn't bash her father. She's just pro Carly up there on the stand. What would Sonny consider that? What do you think Sonny would think about that? He would consider that the most ultimate level of betrayal on the planet. But when it comes to what he did, no, I don't see it that way. I don't see that. And then you get Nina, Sonny, I didn't want it to go this. I didn't want any of this. And I am so sick of what she done. And I'm so sorry. It's all because of me. It is all because of her. It's always been all because of her and whatever with those two. But I will be happy when that finally ends. When he asked her, how do you want to play this? Or how should the relationship be? She says, well, let's take it slow. Now, if Carly still wanted him, she would be taking it as fast as she would be putting it into hyperdrive. As a matter of fact, remember when Sonny first came back to town? When Nina would see Carly saying, you send Sonny away again, he's coming to me and I'm gonna take him. She was just as daunting and taunting and non-caring as she wants to be. That's Nina. So those two are interesting. But there was another scene where Britt had to come back because she left her phone, and Link, who's the sleazeball that's Brooklyn's ex-manager, he was there. And he is trying to hit on Britt. And at first I thought, with her low self-esteem right now, her vulnerabilities, I thought she might fall for it. But she laid into him. Britt was Britt with that sleaze. She saw him a mile away and pretty much like, you at the bottom of my shoe. She didn't say that, but she really rejected him in such a way, let him know he is nowhere near the kind of man that would interest her, period. He don't have what it takes. So that really made him mad. And then, of course, Brooklyn, who snuck over there to make it worse, Chase, who we knew would end up chasing Brooklyn over there. He says, just leave this alone. Let's just go home. No. Okay, Brooklyn, no. When he's upset and he's mad, that's when he does. That's when he reacts. So what does she do? She ends up overhearing a conversation with Link selling her song overseas, snatches his property, meaning you took somebody else's property. And Link being Link, give it back. He don't mind grabbing a woman. Okay, he don't mind that. So what do we think Officer Chase does? Probation Officer Chase, with less than a week to go, probably 2 days to go. What does he do? He punches him, which I knew that was going to happen. I think I said this 2 weeks ago, that Chase isn't about to get off suspension anytime soon for messing with Brooklyn. She is trouble for a police officer, trouble, okay, with a capital T. So needless to say, cute little Rory, little deputy, intern deputy, or whatever they're called, Rory has to arrest Chase. But before that, he was the officer that shows up on the scene at the bar. Remember, a bar fight broke out with where Jocelyn and Trina was with the guy that was trying to talk to Jocelyn, because like I said, pretty much people know her from the internet. And the bar fight breaks out. Cops are in. One cop was asking for their ID, but he gets called over. So now he's dealing with another perp. And the next officer that walks in, of course, is Rory. Cute Rory. And he finds out they had fake IDs, which he happened to know. Oh, it's not illegal in the state to buy fake IDs, but using them, yikes, that is a little discretionary. It's up to the officer on duty to use his discretion. But I loved it. So I'm happy he didn't give him the ID back. He's like, I'm keeping these, right? But I'll let you guys get off on it with a warning. Don't do this again. Okay, don't do it. If you're gonna do something, don't tell me, but don't do this again. And he says, how are you getting home? Because he was getting called to another scene, which was the scene where the Metro Court, where Link had got decked by Chase. So Jocelyn says, we have a ride share. Okay, so they have a ride share. He leaves them. I'm surprised he didn't say, you ladies need to step outside the bar because you're still illegal up in here. You're underage. So what was interesting to me, and I don't know if any of you also felt this was interesting. They get in the car, they make sure they show. Jocelyn gets in first, and as she gets in, normally a scene will cut to maybe Trina getting in, but it intentionally showed the ride share driver. And I don't know, there was something a little off about the driver of the car they got in. I felt a little uneasy about that. You know, I'm thinking, I hope they got in the right one. I mean, it's in the alley. I mean, and this guy just, I don't know. And then the girls get in the car and guess what they're talking about? Woo, that was a close one. You know, Rory let us off even though we had our fake IDs. And I mean, just, oh my goodness. And we came close to finding out, you know, about Esme buying the stolen. They're spilling all their business in this back seat of this car. I'm sorry, it doesn't have a panel up where people can't hear. The driver is getting a whole earful from what's happening with them. I was like, okay, that's no discretion, period. Just talking all like that with this person. But if anybody else felt that it was strange, the driver, I mean, maybe I'm just over analyzing the scene, could be, I don't know. Okay. But one scene I did like was Cody, I guess he's a card shark, cleaned out all the high rollers within 8 hands. And it was Brad that let Cody in the game, unvetted. Remember last episode, I said, they just let anybody in, wait. And that's exactly what Selena Wu reamed Brad about. You let an unvetted player in my game. And so, okay, I thought they were gonna accuse Cody of cheating, but perhaps he was better than the others. I don't know, but Selena Wu, being Selena Wu, which was so cool, had him beat up in the alley. And poor Brad is just looking like, oh my God, don't hit him out, yikes, you know. And she had him give, her little bouncer bodyguard guy, take the money he won. And she said, you cost me way more than what you won. And left him $50, threw it down on the ground for him. And as they're leaving, Brad is looking at him like, oh no, I feel so bad for you. And Selena Wu is like, Bradley, get over here now. And he looks at Cody on the ground. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. He is not meant for this business, not at all. So of course it's Britt who finds him beat up in the alley, and oh, she wants to leave him there. But here's the thing, she is a doctor, because she started to walk away, Britt being Britt. And she says, no, first do no harm, do no harm, do no harm. So she's checking him out because she feels he might actually have a concussion. So, you know, she's probably going to take him to GH so that he can get checked out. So, you know, we'll see. Is this going to start to bring a connection between Britt and Cody? I'm hoping not, because I really don't want to see that at all. So that was Friday, June the 17th episode. And I want to now cut into the session where we have some trivia questions going on. Trivia questions. The trivia question was, did Michael go to prison? And then the next question was, and if he did, what happened to him. So I had a phenomenal response. One of the fans, GH Recap fans, wrote in there, unfortunately, yes, Michael did go to jail and he was raped in jail. And you're 100% right. When that happened, that threw me for a loop because Jason was already on his way to jail. Jason made sure he got convicted. Diane worked with him, got him convicted for a crime, sent into jail. Jason was already on his way. I felt they were going to make it so that Jason arrived before anything really bad happened to Michael. But he arrived the day after. And I'm telling you, my heart was crushed. I was like, whoa, wait, hey, that is going to be a storyline that is different. And I didn't like it. I was uneasy with it because a main character like that, you know, and he didn't tell Jason what really happened to him for a good while. He didn't tell anybody what really happened for a while, but it was soon after that. Of course, Jason protected him. And I think Jason ended up killing that guy because that guy ended up, you know, taunting Michael again, or something happened, or was approaching him again, and Jason ended up killing him. And what was interesting, which was out of the way and out of the blue, it ends up being Franco was the one that sent the guy to rape Michael. And what Franco ended up saying is, no, he wanted him to rough Michael up, you know, to get back at Jason, not do what he did. But, you know, I don't know, that was a little bit bizarre how they tied that in. And then I just want to talk about, you know, some of the other comments. We've got another fan, GH Recap fan, says, Patricia says she loves Cody's character. See, everybody has their different favorites. I can't stand it, but she loves Cody's character. And she feels that, I guess back in the day, a Bell woman was involved with Max Scorpio and Stefan Cassadine. So maybe Cody's going to end up being the son, maybe a Cassadine. Oh my goodness. And I said, well, that would fit. Broke Cody would now be part of a wealthy family. And I asked, who do we think Austin was talking to? And she's like, Austin could be talking to Peter. And I'm like, no, Peter doesn't talk. Bottom line, while Maxie, if Peter August was still alive, while Maxie was on that camping trip, oh, he'd already gone kidnapping, stealing his child, period. That's Peter. And leaving her, yeah, it's me note, I'm not dead. And let me see, Spinelli. And they were saying, maybe the reason Spinelli can't figure it out is, you know, Esme, no, she's saying that, yes, he's running the dating service, or maybe he's an older woman. I don't think he's really interested in her, but for sure, I feel that dating service is his. And then another phenomenal commenter, this Chemo Beauty, says that every man Maxie gets with exhibits strange behavior, has something strange going on, except for Nathan. Good guy cop Nathan was just primo. Nathan was the best. I love that actor. That was a great little love story. He was the best of that pair. Nathan was the purest and the best. And then she said, listen, Esme is her father's daughter. She was going to figure out how to get that something stolen, untraceable, undetectable. And yeah, you know what, sleaze, they do find sleaze find sleaze. And then she said, yes, she feels Nina is a placeholder for Sonny for sure. You know, a placeholder for Sonny for sure. And she's the one that commented that, yes, Michael was raped in jail. So yeah, love those comments, everybody. Please send comments in, especially on some of the trivia things. I love comments. Please like this video, thumbs up, give it a thumbs up. And also please click the subscribe button and ring that alert bell. I want to ask one question. In 2020, when the soaps went off the air, and not just the soaps, primetime shows, everything. Pretty much production was just gone. What did you like? How did you feel? What did you do? I tell you, it wasn't so much the shows, movies or shows, because guess what? Netflix was there. Netflix became so popular in 2020. But what really got me was not being able to see the soap operas. That was a withdrawal thing. It really was. And I tell you, the day they came back, was the happiest I have been in a hot minute. It was definitely the happiest that I've been. And then I just want to ask one little soap opera trivia question. What were your favorite soaps? You know, General Hospital, we're all fans. It's our favorite. To me, it needs to win more daytime Emmys. Okay. But what other soap operas, whether they're in the past or still going, what other soap operas are your favorites? And next recap, I will give my favorites. So this has been the recap for Friday, June 17th. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next recap.